So while we are cooking, we wanted to tell y'all what cystic fibrosis is. Good morning! Just made some coffee and Taylor is doing his breathing. And look how cute Rusty is. What are you doing, Rusty? You're so cute, buddy. Today we are going to talk about what cystic fibrosis is. So Taylor's doing his breathing treatment right now. He has to do that every morning and every night. He's going to go into more detail about that later, because I could tell y'all about it, but he definitely has more knowledge than I do because he's the one that's living with it. It's getting warmer outside, which is really exciting. Don't have to wear like 4 layers of clothes. So guys, welcome to our day.
So Kelsey says it's time for another cystic fibrosis video. We've gained probably 200 followers since the last time, so we're gonna do it again. As you can see, this morning I did my nebulizer, which includes, well, first I do my albuterol. This is a bronchodilator. It opens up your airways, allows you to breathe easier. A lot of asthma patients in cystic fibrosis take this. And then I do my nebulizer, and I put hypertonic saline in that, which is a sodium chloride solution. It is essentially sterile salt water that helps kind of lubricate the airways and cough up that mucus that's in my lungs. And then I do pulmozyme. Pulmozyme is an enzyme that I inhale that helps break down the mucus. But yeah, so I do those, pulmozyme and hypertonic, and my albuterol twice a day. We're going to Walgreens, or no, we're going to CVS to pick up my pulmozyme that I had shipped there. Because I don't like getting it shipped to where we live because it's really expensive medication. And now I'm going to do my meds. This is doxycycline. It is an antibiotic that I am on long term. I do my Symbicort. Do that twice a day. My Flonase. Do that once a day. No, twice a day. Take my fish oils. Zithromycin. Turmeric for inflammation. Lansoprazole, which I'm out, which is for heartburn. I take cyproheptadine, which is an appetite stimulant. Vitamin D3. I take calcium citrate because of all the steroids I've used thinned my bones. And a multivitamin. Waited in line for about 15 minutes and realized we were at Walgreens instead of CVS. Made it. We're going to Goodwill. Oh my gosh, I'm buying it.
I found the perfect Texan shirt for you.
How much is it?
Oh look, you could have
Imagine.
Yeah, we actually found some nice pants here. They're $42 originally. Only $10.
That is funky.
That Goodwill was a lot better than we thought.
It's really hard. It's hard to beat the Sarasota Goodwill because there's a lot of wealthy people that give away stuff.
Yeah.
But that was surprisingly probably one of the top Goodwills I've been in.
Yeah, Taylor got 2 pairs of pants, which he needed because every pair of pants that he has are stained. And I got a small muffin pan. We're gonna have to find a place to eat.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, you too. It was very nice meal.
It was very nice. Once again, we are at Sonic. We are back from Sonic.
And now we're eating again.
Now we're eating again. it's like 3 hours after we ate Sonic. We're gonna make sausage, broccoli, leftover potatoes, and mushrooms. So while we are cooking, we wanted to tell y'all what cystic fibrosis is.
We are going to do what is cystic fibrosis, but we're going to add my story to it. So first I wanted to address, I've had people ask me how I get medicine on the road. The only medicine I don't get at a Walgreens pharmacy is my Pulmozyme, which is this. I get this from a specialty pharmacy that usually ships it to my house, but this is CVS. Whoa, hey, this is CVS specialty that sends me this medication, and I don't trust them shipping it to our RV because I'm not familiar with the area or the people around us, so I just have them ship it to a CVS and pick it up from a CVS. Alright, so cystic fibrosis is a chronic lung disease that affects 1 out of 2,000 Americans. About 20, oh shoot, I forgot the statistic.
It's 30,000 in the US and it's 100,000 worldwide.
There you go. And it affects mostly the lungs, but it can affect every organ in the body, because essentially the non-technical term, which I know, I don't know the technical term, our body doesn't retain salt, so it secretes salt. It doesn't hold salt, so it creates mucus in the lungs. And if you guys know the technical term, you can post it down below. But for me, it's mostly the lungs. I do have digestive problems as well, but it's not too bad. It's mostly the lungs. So I really didn't know the story about how I was diagnosed until a few years ago, but it's really awesome, and it just shows me how blessed I am to be where I am and be able to do what I do. So when I was in my mother's womb, I wanted to be born early, so they put her on bed rest. So my heart stopped beating, and these monitors essentially started beeping, so doctors and nurses ran in, and apparently my umbilical cord got wrapped around my neck and stopped my pulse. So that was the first scare. And then when I was being born, I inhaled amniotic fluid, and I think I'm saying that right. It apparently creates like a really, really sticky substance in your lungs. So, that was the second scare. That was 2 scares before I was even out of the womb. And then after that, it was kind of a struggle to gain weight. I had these white spots in my eyes and like a few other odd things that happened. My mom would take me to the doctor every month, and you know, they were trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but they couldn't figure it out. The doctor just put in his notes that I had a failure to thrive. I can't even imagine what my mom was going through at that time. It was actually my grandma that kissed me and told my parents that I tasted salty. And so the next doctor's visit, my mom told the nurse that I tasted salty. The nurse, like wide-eyed, said, you know, I think you have cystic fibrosis. Yeah, that's how they figured it out. And after that, they realized I was vitamin, I think, E deficient. So they gave me ADEC, and that really helped a lot of the symptoms. And they started me on enzymes to help me gain weight. And yeah, after that, it was, I had a pretty normal childhood. My parents really never said no to anything. They let me play baseball, go mud wrestle, ride dirt bikes. I have a lot of parents ask me if like it's okay for their kid to go outside and play outside, and it's like, of course, like, you know, you can't keep your kid in a bubble, and you know, that what kind of life is that? It's just, you have to live your life like every day is last. I say that a lot, and it's really cheesy, but having cystic fibrosis, you really grab that reality a little easier and quicker than most people. Okay, I was really shy about my health. I really didn't tell anyone I had cystic fibrosis, and if I did, it was a very brief conversation like, I have CF. Oh, what is that? It's like asthma, but worse. The reason for that, I never wanted to be looked at differently. I was always the smallest kid and the shortest, so I already had self-confidence issues from early on, so I didn't want to give people another reason to look at me differently. I had a G2 placed when I was 11, which you guys heard from this today's vlog, or yesterday's vlog. You know, I really was very private about it. Only a few people knew I had CF. The average lifespan of someone with cystic fibrosis is 37 years old, and I didn't know that until I was like 16. When I found that out, I kind of like, oh, that's not going to happen to me. You know, I kind of brushed it under the rug and I just kept going when I was 16, and it wasn't until college, you know, I kind of let that thought kind of like build up inside me and not addressing that issue. Yeah, I let it take a toll on me. You know, I went into a deep, dark depression, and that was in my sophomore and junior in high school. Or college, sorry, in college. Yeah, it was just like a constant battle for like 2 years of finally facing that reality and facing cystic fibrosis aspect of my life that I've just kind of not mostly avoided certain aspects, but kind of I just didn't let it get in the way of my daily life. Definitely had a hard time coming out of that hole, but you know, with family and friends and you know, my faith, I was able to, you know, come out of that hole a better person, and I felt a need to share my story, so I started an Instagram. I started posting CF relatable content, and you know, I've met a lot of people who supported me and I supported them, and it was really nice to have that support that I really never reached out to have. I kind of avoided that because I didn't want to see other people struggling with the same thing that I had. Now we're here, you know, owning a cystic fibrosis awareness company, have this vlog that's dedicated to raising awareness for CF. So yeah, now our life kind of revolves around CF in a good way, not in a way that we let CF dictate our life. You know, we travel, we live on the road. We don't let it stop us from reaching our goals and our aspirations. You know, I still go through ups and downs of anxiety and depression, but something that has always helped me is living in the present and not in the future, because it's a future that I'm always constantly worrying about, especially with the life expectancy of CF. Yeah, that's really helped keep my spirits lifted up and my anxiety reduced. Yeah, there's a really good book called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. Definitely a must read for anyone who has anxiety and depression. I mean, it's probably the best book I've ever read. That is the last thing, I hope. Let's eat.
Oh yeah. So usually I would go ahead and do Taylor's tube, but we don't have those yet. Hopefully they'll be mailed to us soon.
Monday, hopefully.
And he still has to do his breathing treatment, and then we are going to head to bed. But guys, thanks for joining us today, and we will see you tomorrow. Good night, Donnie.
Rusty, you wanna go outside?
Wanna go outside?
You wanna go outside? Come on, let's go outside. Come on.